Hello everyone on YouTube, it's Aka Plays, and we're here with a special video, and I have here with me Eivor, one of the lead devs on the Legacy of Valyria mod. Say hello, Ivor.
Greetings, everyone.
Hello. Right, so I'm going to interview you about Legacy of Valyria today, aren't I, Ivor? Yes, and thank you
Yes,
for
that is
agreeing
correct.
to this, by the way. Really great idea. Um, so, what inspired you to make Legacy of Valyria?
Well, it happened way back with colonized Valyria first,
Mm.
when me and somebody called Shekel found out that a guy called Maxi was starting on creating Valyria itself.
Mm.
And he only had like what's known as Lucaria now
Mm.
on the map.
Yeah.
And it started out by being a bit of a joke, like, "Hey, let us help you run this thread, so you can just focus on the channel." And before we knew it, he had a server he needed help with, um, and I have some history in running servers. And Shekels had a lot of knowledge in regards to Valyria overall,
Oh,
so
nice.
it ended up by saying, "Hey, sure, we can help you with the server and just overall help you with people having questions." And
Mm-hmm.
before we knew it, Sarat already back then saw what was happening, and he said he wanted to help in regards to overlook the code.
Mm-hmm.
And before we knew it, we were four people on the team, and within the first week, we had a boss who came around and asked if we needed help with the 3D buildings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And before we knew it, we were 14 days in, and we already had a team at around 9 people working on the mod.
Yeah. Um, I know, obviously, of course, it's a real labour of love, as you put it. Uh, but
Absolutely.
it's definitely a real cool mod. So who exactly can colonise Valyria at present?
Basically, everyone who has a dragon. That's the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone who can actually do it is what is it? It's everyone who has dragon blood,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
everyone who's a mage,
Mm-hmm.
everyone who's a dragon dreamer,
I
or
see.
has the what's the other one called? The other dreamer.
Green site, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And everyone with a dragon seed, or of course, if you are a traveler and adventure, you just have to have ambition or be brave with 100-point traveler.
Yes, be brave. um, well, so I'm assuming that's everyone from House Targaryen.
Yes, yes. Everyone from House Targaryen, Velaryon,
Mm-hmm.
Blackfyra, everyone that's basically, yeah, Valyrian.
And also, it's about the dragon blood. It goes down through the generations, obviously. So,
Yes,
that's why Stannis works. I think, doesn't he?
yes, exactly. It counts all the way up to five, if I'm not mistaken. So it's yeah,
Oh, sweet. Um, so I know the mod updates on like a regular basis. Um,
yes.
it's yeah, very exciting because you obviously have a very passionate team about it. I hear that it's actually updating as of the time we're doing this tomorrow. On was it the 27th of January? So what's new in that update?
So we try every Monday to come out with a patch, just overall with more locks, make sure that we fix some of the box issues that's been there, both in the past but also present.
Mm-hmm.
And then we try as best as we can to come up with an actual proper update that brings all the new stuff once a month. Typically, it's at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
This time, because it's a larger update we plan on coming out with, it might have to be at the beginning of next month.
Yeah.
But for this patch tomorrow, it's basically more arts, locks fixes, it's going to, yeah, it's a patch.
Okay,
So
sounds
yeah,
nice. Yeah, yeah. Oh, so lots of bug fixes, brilliant, wonderful, and it'll be same game,
yes, yes, it will be safe
compatible,
game
right? Yeah,
compliance.
good,
That's
very
also
good.
the reason that's also the reason for why we try to keep the big updates to once a month, because every time we expand the actual map, it
Mm-mm.
breaks the save. Every time we try to make a new part of phases for the activity, it breaks the save. Every time we try
Mm-mm.
to make a new bookmark, it breaks the save.
Mm-hmm.
And we ourselves started to get tired of trying to test the game because we had to start all over every single time.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. So how can we revive magic? Let's just say anyone.
Oh, see, I'm not the one who normally uses magic in this mod. I'm not the biggest fan myself of magic, but from my understanding with what I talked about with Sarat, it's basically visit any of the locations for magic,
Mm-hmm.
or whenever you try to colonize anywhere in Valyria, you should get a pop-up event that allows you to either say, yeah, I want the magic, or I'm going to just let it die out.
Ah, nice,
And
nice.
the thing with it also is NPCs cannot use magic.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one else but you who can activate the magic in the mod.
Nice,
So
nice.
if you don't want magic, just click the let it die. Oh, sorry. Click the let it die out, and that should be it.
Fair enough, but well, obviously now you're saying about magicians colonizing Valyria. Oh,
Right.
oh, that's going to be used. So, in one of the latest additions to the mod, you've added Asai by the Shadows. So, what plans are there for Asai going forward?
Oh, we got big plans.
Ooh.
We got really, really big plans for us. A shy. So far, we are working on making a massive city.
Mm-hmm.
We have been so lucky that we have Draco working on our team.
Mm-hmm.
And of was that 2 days ago, we were so lucky to get Valada, who's
Mm-hmm.
also a very
Ah, yeah,
famous
yeah. The
2D
from
modder.
Cities of Wonder.
Yes, yes. And he's also helping us in creating this massive, massive city for Asai. And along with that, we also have some what's it called? Soldiers trying to
Oh, Men at Arms.
be implemented in. Yes, men of arms. We are working on two more cultures right now. We got Shadowbinders, and I
Mm-hmm.
also believe we have a second one, also something with Shadow, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Um, we do plan on having more because there's a lot of different cultures in Asai since it is the city center
Mm-mm.
of magic. It is the heart of magic, and we have everyone from the fiery priest that comes there to
Mm-hmm.
magisters from Westeros coming there as
Mm-hmm.
well
And not
to learn
well.
stuff.
Obviously, Melisandre is from there as well.
Yes, exactly. So we do plan on having different types of culture. I also know that some of the mages from Yeti
Mm-hmm.
typically goes there to learn magic or at least to expand their knowledge of it. So yeah, it's still very
Interesting. Yeah.
VIP, so to speak,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
of this moment,
Mhm.
but there are big plans for it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Of
Very
course,
nice.
of course, also with his own courtroom. That's of course
Mm-mm. Your courtrooms are beautiful. I love them so much.
that is all Drago. That is all his credit.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Um, sorry. Just one second. What do you plan to do if the A Game of Thrones mod actually covers Valyria?
Oh, So far, from our talks with the developers of Game of Thrones base mod,
Mm-hmm.
is that they're most likely not going to touch it. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason for that is they're trying to stay as close to the CK2 version of the mod as possible.
I see.
And they're also trying to stay as lore friendly and canon as possible. And if you look at canon,
Mm.
everyone who went there basically died beside that one.
Obviously,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um, so they're most likely not going to touch it. And if they do, it's most likely going to be something along the ways of there's just ruins and you cannot do anything with it.
Fair
So we
enough.
should be fine. But in case they decide to say, no, this time we're going to make it different, we're going to, let you
Mm.
colonize it,
Mm.
then there's not much to do. We will still have our events and all the flavors that's being brought in by our mod.
Mm-hmm.
And worst case scenario, we will just be an additional flavor to Valyria. And we are okay with that as well, if that's the way I got decides to go.
Fair enough. But, well, I mean, I hope they're obviously bearing in mind that a lot of people have put a lot of work into this. Anyway, I'd like to think that that's fair thought. Yeah. Um, how will you be able to tell if someone is a witch?
Oh, there's a good few answers for that. First of all, you will be able to see it from the pointed hat, the broomstick, and suspicious love of cauldrons,
Can you
of
turn
course.
people into newts?
Not yet.
Oh
Not
no.
yet.
Yeah. Um. Okay.
And to
Uh.
give you an actual answer for that, you
Mm,
can do
mm.
it through dreams. Through
Oh.
Dragon Dreams, we are working on events that will give you some glimpse into the future because we are working on certain bookmarks. And with
Very
that,
nice.
yeah, there's going to be something for the dreamers.
Mm. Sweet man, sweet. I do hear as well that there is going to be a new bookmark coming sooner or later. Um. So what's next for the mod?
So, as you just mentioned, the bookmark is definitely one of the things that we're working on right now. We are trying, not sure if you have read this throughout our Discord at any time, but we made a statement once where we told that most people use around 100, 140 mods, and we're somewhat trying to make it so people don't have to do that.
Mm, mm,
And one of the big things that people uses are bookmarks, of course, because everybody wants as much history and different gameplays as possible.
mm, mm.
And
Yes.
I know that Draco, one of our guys, a 3D guy who decided to start to learn a bit about scripting and
Mm.
coding, has decided to make his own bookmark. And he just
Very nice.
became co-owner of the God bookmark itself on Steam. And I know from what he plans to do, it's bringing a bit of what's already there.
Mm, mm.
So first of all, the story about Orion.
Or
Pretty
in
sure I'm
Viserys,
butchering
yeah.
his. Yes, and his travel to Valyria. We are working on a storyline for him. I also know that he wanted to do a bit about the conquest itself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, and I also know that he's been talking about some of the other families because there were a few families out there that actually escaped Valyria.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It'd be.
And we do plan on making a bookmark for these people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so great. I've I've always like obviously because the Iron Throne is so sort of monumental. I've always wanted a bookmark where it's pre-conquest and none of the established lore characters have actually been born yet.
Yes.
It's great news that your new bookmark's coming out. Really great. because we will write
I,
history by ourselves.
exactly. And I do want to point out that this upcoming big update that we have is the bookmark about Orion. Um, and his conquest for Valyria. He did, after all, declare himself emperor of Valyria. So let's see how that goes for him, shall we?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my god. So Eivor, why is your mod merged with the old Essos expansion mod?
There's actually a pretty good reason for that. It started out by a few from colonized Valyria went over to their server because we had some messages in our DM saying that they needed a bit of help in running the server.
Mm-hmm.
And we heard from them that there was a lot of things going on in real life for some of their developers.
Oh,
So
I
they
see.
were so they were just overall overrun out of nowhere because it went from a team of 12 people to basically being a team of 3 to 4 people active.
Oh,
So
that's
we
sad.
went in there to help,
Mm.
just to manage the server and just help in regards to answering people's questions. And our main code developer, Sagat,
Mm.
actually ended up in conversations with Literal.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, and from our understanding, literally was wanting to join colonize Valyria
Mm-hmm.
because they got hit with the what if Essos were made redundant, yes, like tomorrow, if
Ooh.
a god decided to expand that way, because that's around the corner.
Mm-mm.
Um, and we straight up said to them, well, let's merge.
Oh, fair enough.
Let's work together, because then you're not working on nothing. That means we plan on expanding towards the east anyway. So that's what they were working on. So why not work it together? We would be more, um, what was it called? We would have more people working on the coding overall to make this happen. So in case that a god decides to expand, let's say tomorrow,
Mm.
and we already put it in place that we can literally just remove those areas from our scripting
Yeah. Yeah.
so it won't interfere while focusing on expanding to the areas that they won't touch that much, so to
Oh,
speak.
that's nice of you to sort of give them a helping hand as well.
Absolutely, and let's say like it is, it has only been beneficial for everyone since we decided to merge.
Mm-mm.
They had game testers that we were really in need of. We had artists working for us in Colonize that ASOS really needed.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of people working on maps, which we only have a Maxi at the time, and we had a lot of people working scripts, coding,
Mm-hmm.
which they needed. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was overall a win-win for everyone.
Nice, nice. Another question I wanted to ask is why is your mod skyrocketed?
You mean our colonization prices?
Oh, sorry, hang on. Let me do that again. Why did the price of colonization of Valyrian provinces skyrocket so suddenly?
It's actually a really good answer for that.
Mm-hmm.
So far, it has been a miscalculation from one of our coding guys in
Ah.
regards to what the prices were before, in regards to what we plan on doing. In the same way as when you are doing a tournament
Mm.
or when you're doing the tours where you travel around the realm, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We do plan on having different phases of how to colonize Valyria.
Very interesting. Yeah.
So we are working on, for example, let's say that you colonize the heart of Valyria. Should you live there by yourself, or should you have the option to invite the old former houses back into Valyria? And what
Oh,
would happen if
interesting.
you do? Yeah. And now that the prices are higher, we are now also working on certain phases that would allow you to put the prices down a bit. So, for example, you will be able to make a loan from the Iron Bank, but the time period you have to pay it back would be longer. And
Ah, I
what
see.
happened if you, and what happened if you don't pay it back? What would the Iron Bank do? Because remember, from both the books and the show, it was made pretty clear that the Iron Bank always gets their money.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
what happens if you don't pay?
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
we also plan on for certain bookmarks to have certain options. For example, if you are Orion,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he goes there with his dragon and 30,000 men. We believe that he should be able to colonize more than one province at a time. And a
Mm.
way to do that would also be through these phases.
Oh, I see. Very interesting. Um, yeah, I did notice. Obviously, the colonization cost is sort of even doubled or tripled for provinces with volcanoes as well. Obviously, I did hear because that's because of the danger in these provinces. Yes.
Absolutely. Valyria is a dangerous place, and we are working on making certain areas even more dangerous. Take, for example, Lokiria. If that is the biggest and strongest stronghold fortress in Valyria, what had happened to bring that down?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
So we are working on making a bit more dangerous. Of course, if you go for the provinces that's further out and towards the water, it will be cheaper, but the more beneficial the province is, or the better the province is, the more it's gonna cost,
Mm. Mm.
and the harder and more dangerous it's going to be. So, for example, the heart of Valyria, it did not just fail; it got overrun.
Mm. Mm.
Not only with the toxics, but also with the fireworms and also with the stonemen. So we do have certain plans of making it more dangerous.
Mm. Mm. I'm so glad that I was finally able to sort of rebuild the Red Worm's wrath in the last episode. It was such
Yes,
a struggle for me to get there. But obviously, this proves how dangerous the whole place is.
absolutely. Remember, Valyria was the heart of Draken, so that means there might actually be some free living dragons in there not too long from now.
Ooh, ooh, very interesting. Oh, I can't wait. Thank you so much for coming, Eivor.
Thank you for
That
having me.
that concludes the questions I have. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm gonna probably make another stream with Stanis a few hours after this video is ended. But for now, thank you, Eivor. Thank you, everyone on the channel. See you later. Bye bye.